We continue our coverage of the Scouting Combine from Indianapolis. Although I am not personally in Indianapolis, Eagles general manager Howie Roseman is. I think we've done this with you every year for like 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I've lost track at some point, but it's great to see you. Great to talk to you. Sorry I'm not there.
We definitely didn't do it last year.
Well, we definitely didn't do it last year, but sorry I'm not there this year. I feel bad that I'm not there. Actually, I don't.
I do like seeing you in person here, and Sims just told me that he was pulled off from me because we have such great chemistry here. Everyone wants to see you and I talk, dude.
That's right. And also, Sims is suspended for using foul language. That's right.
What's that?
Sims is suspended for using foul language. That's why he's not involved in this. So let's get right to it.
That.
You guys had a really good season last year, better than I think anyone outside of the organization expected. How did last season, an unexpected playoff experience, again, from the outside, how did that mesh with your own expectations of what the team was going to be in Nick Sirianni's first year as coach?
There was two parts of that. I think the first part is when we were in the playoffs, would have rather had a better outcome. Disappointed in kind of how the season ended with the opportunity that we had down in Tampa. Obviously playing against a great team and a great quarterback. But then the second part is just seeing how our coaches responded to the adversity. We were 2-5, didn't start the season the way that we wanted, adjusting to our personnel, really putting our guys in the best possible positions based on the players that we had, and making a run, winning 7 of the last 9 games. So obviously we got an opportunity here with free agency and the draft and the draft picks that we have to get better and give our coaches really the players they need for the systems that they're trying to bring to the table.
And that's the fascinating question to me, Howie, because the coaching staff did pivot to where the team's strengths were last year. So are you going to try to find more players to continue that approach, more run heavy than anything else offensively, or are you trying to get the personnel in place so Nick Sirianni and company can maybe go in a different direction when the Eagles have the football?
When you talk about run heavy, sometimes the perception is 1st and 10 handoff. 2nd and 8 handoff, 3rd and 4, trying to make a first down. And one of the things that's exciting to me is that we're explosive offensively with the run game. I think we led the league in explosive plays, certainly first in explosive runs. And so when you combine that and then, Jalen takes a jump to the next level and he continues to get better and develop chemistry with some of our younger receivers, and then add to that and continue to add to that, so think of it like a layer cake and we keep adding on the layers, it doesn't have to be one-dimensional. It continue to get better in the areas that maybe we weren't as good as we wanted to be last year offensively, and the same thing from a defensive perspective.
What's the best thing that Jalen Hurts does, in your opinion?
Well, the first part about Jalen Hurts is that this guy is all ball all the time. I mean, he wants to be great. He will make sure he is emptying the tank to be great. And that's improving his passing fundamentals. That's improving his relationships with teammates. That's improving his technique. And then as you look at Jalen's career, right, it goes from being, winning a national championship, being benched at Alabama, then getting better from Alabama to Oklahoma, getting better from Oklahoma to the Combine, getting better from the Combine to his first year in the NFL, getting better year 1 to 2. And so when you're watching a player and you see a trajectory that's still going up and you still see the guy's 23 years old, I think that's what excites you, knowing that it's our job to make sure he's got good pieces in place and that he's going to do whatever it takes to continue to improve as well.
What is his ceiling then, and what's he have to do next? What's the next step toward getting to wherever his maximum capacity is?
Well, Coach talked about it a little today. There are things that he needs to work on and things that will happen with repetition, with seeing it over and over and over again, seeing defenses and the looks that he's getting over and over and going, all right, I got this look, this is what I'm going to do with the football. And that comes with experience. I think sometimes we forget this is still a young player, and this may be the only industry in the world where we expect the people that are the youngest to also perform at the highest level. And when you talk to veteran quarterbacks who are performing at a high level in their 30s, they're saying they're able to see it so much quicker because they've seen it before. And so their muscle memory is just like that. And that comes with experience. So I think that even just getting Jalen more experience, he'll naturally get better at the things that he's looking to improve on this offseason.
You moved around the board a little bit last year, and you ended up getting Devontae Smith, the 2020 Heisman winner, with your first-round pick. Give me your assessment of him so far and what you want to see him do next in his second year.
Well, Devontae is not an easy scout. You know, it's pleasure scouting when you watch him and you see him in every big game, separating, ball skills, you know, body control, toughness as a blocker, run after the catch, and elite character. So, you know, I think when you go through this process here and you're back in Indy, you're reminded about how hard it is on rookies, where they're doing things that isn't all football. You know, they're going through the process of interviewing with teams and working on things for their pro day or their 40s, things that aren't just like, how can I improve in this specific area? How can I get bigger and stronger? And so that jump from year 1 to year 2 is real. He's got all the tools in his body to be a difference-making NFL player, and I think you saw just a glimpse of what he's going to be. Of course, he set the Eagles' single-season NFL rookie record, so it's not like he had a bad rookie year, but I think it's just the tip of the iceberg for him.
Back to Jalen Hurts, because there's kind of a loose sense around him, especially entering last year, that he's got to prove himself and that, you know, maybe he will, maybe he won't. How close is he now to becoming the kind of guy where there should be no question, internally or externally, about him being the quarterback now and into the foreseeable future?
I don't know that that's the way the world works anymore, Mike. I don't know that anyone's on scholarship in any profession anymore. I think it's there's so much external factors that everyone's always looking at things. You know, I think you just saw it with the world champs. You know, they had a quarterback who brought them to the Super Bowl, and they look to upgrade. So I think you're constantly, whether you're in my job, whether you're a quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, you know, I can't really speak to your job, though I'd love to make a joke about your job. I can't really think of one right now. But you're
yeah, that's the thing. It wouldn't stop you. The only thing stopping you is you don't have one. That's it.
I don't have one, which bothers me. It's really bothering me as I think about this answer. But I think that you're constantly having to prove yourself, and I think that's what we're looking for. We're looking for players that are constantly trying to improve. You know, I feel like it took us a long time in Philadelphia to win a world championship, and I always felt, I remember telling Joe Douglas, when we win a world championship, you're not going to find me for 3 weeks. You know, I'm going to be on some version of a bender, whether it's warm weather bender or something. And we come back from the Super Bowl on Monday night, and on Tuesday I'm calling him. I'm like, hey, we got to get going. We're 6 weeks ahead. And he goes, what happened to laid back Howie? What happened to, like, you know, bender Howie? And I'm like, yeah, I just want to win another one, you know? And I think that's really what, like, we're looking for. Not that I'm definitely not the role model for what we're looking for, but I think that that's what you're looking for in players and coaches, like guys who are constantly trying to prove themselves and take it to the next level.
It's funny that you put it that way, though, because one thing I've sensed from your fan base, winning one Super Bowl has made them even more over-the-top irrational about getting another one. Like, they want this second one way worse than they wanted the first one.
Well, it's funny because, as you know, I have 4 kids, and I have 3 boys and a girl, and I remember after we won the Super Bowl, you know, I was pretty proud of the accomplishments of our staff, of our players, of our coaches, of our front office, you know, of ownership. And I remember kind of having a smile on my face, and my daughter saying, Dad, how long have you been the GM? And I was like, 10 years. And she goes, I mean, we're learning percentages in math. That's like 10%. That's not really a great percentage. I'm not sure we should be like patting people on the back for that. And I'm like, I think we've lived in Philly long enough. We are one of them.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that is awesome. All right, Howie, on that note, we'll say thank you, and we hope to talk to you again real soon. And congratulations on having a great year, and all the best for 2022.
We'll see you soon, Mike, in person next time.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.